Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tricksters from the second YouTube channel. Today we have another tier 3 sub VOD review, and we have a Breeze with a Jett in Ascendant 1 lobbies. So, the guy that we're coaching today is called Fall. It's Fall, and he wants to learn how to play Jett on Breeze. Okay. Here's my Jett VOD. I did lots of rifling as well as using the operator, so hopefully there is enough to break down for both different playstyles. I did play well this game, but it wasn't like a blowout game, which means I probably could have done better. If I learn from my mistakes I make in my good games, I can apply them to my bad games. No, yes. I don't think I have good mechanics, especially raw aim. I'm a little iffy on my movement. I believe I'm mostly more in need of a game sense and decision-making advice. Like, 99% of Valorant community is like literally the Radiant players that I'm playing with are mentally retarded, so don't worry, man, don't worry. Note, on defense with my operator, I missed the skill jump on A couple times. I think this is, he's talking for a bind. Yeah, for a bind. I'm killed with a friend in this game, but I don't feel like playing him changed the outcome of the game at all. Okay, I think he was here talking about the bind VOD that he first submitted, because this VOD was submitted before the Jett changes, and then I told him to submit a new VOD. Actually, is this before or after the changes? No, yeah, this was before the changes. Okay. I also realized that I need to work on my mindset. This game, everything was annoying me, and I think it's because I went on a losing streak the last day or two. Valorant can be like that. It do be like that, basically. That's why you should play Valorant on multiple accounts. You should never play on one account. Play on 3 accounts. Smurf a bit. Do this, do that. Have some fun. Because grinding this game 24/7 is the absolutely worst thing you can do for your mental health. Jett nerf just got announced and it's pretty drastic. Possibly could you talk about it during my VOD? Is Jett still worth playing? How should I play her in relation to the nerfs? Nothing changed in terms of the executes, in terms of the strategies, in terms of how you play the Jett. The only problem now is like the window of time where you need to use your utility is very small. And you need to be very, very fast with your decision making when it comes to which angles you want to clear, which angles you want to prioritize, which executes you want to do, and when you want to do an execute. On the defender side, it's the same shit, basically. Like, we still want to do the one-way smoke sometimes to delay or split the enemies apart, cover ourselves up. On defender side, the only thing that is kind of nerfed is defusing the spike, obviously. Like, but there is a technique where you can drop the smoke 90 degrees in the sky and then drop it down and still half defuse the spike, but of course it takes a lot of time and enemies might catch you at that moment of time. Thus, you know, on defense, like op, you know, fuck enemies up, that's it. Like use the dash in an aggressive way and make sure that you're not wasting it left and right. On attack, like the only problem is like once you dash somewhere, once you take a space somewhere, in a certain area of the map, you need to make a fast decision. Do you want to go for the kill? Do you want to do this, do that? Like, essentially, you cannot just, you know, dash in and expect to survive. Like, also, like, one major problem that is going to happen for the low elo players is a lot of times you're going to go out with a Jett and your teammates won't follow you up. And that is where, like, you know, you need to work on your mechanics. You need to clear the angles in the middle of the dash. Flick left and right, see where the enemies can be, where they cannot be, and that's it. I will still play Jett. I still consider Jett as like a A+ tier character. Like basically, Omen and Raze are #1 for the player's improvement in rank solo queue, and Jett is like #3. But I don't know if I would play Jett. I don't know. Like I still don't know like whether or not Jett is worth it for the players below Immortal 1. Like I didn't really test the Jett in those lobbies, nor I can see like how these players play the game with a Jett in the team. But I feel that a lot of the problems are going to be like just you will go in, and if you don't pick a right fight, and if you don't do a proper execute with some kind of a safety for yourself, you just dash randomly into an open space, you're going to be absolutely fucked. So timings are going to be crucial for you. And that's it. When it comes to your tracker from the previous episode, we're going to watch previous episode because this episode the guy played just 2 matches. Very good. You know, there's nothing to really shit about. You started playing the game in episode 1, act 2, and then solid, consistent grind. Like, you know, you're spending like 2 to 3 acts. Like basically you're spending one episode in one rank, which is fine, you know, like it's like at least consistent improvement, and you spend quite some time in Ascendant. Not bad. I can see Jett is like your main gig essentially, and when it comes to your statistics, very good. Like, I mean, KD of 1.16 is really good. 160 ADR is fine. 32% headshot ratio. Like, I can see that you're mechanically there. But now, in terms of your execute, in terms of how you play the game, we're gonna see like what is your decision making. So it is on. Dude is really only spamming in the Jett. Respect the grind. Respect the grind. What's with the maps, like, in general? Split the best map as it should be. Like, Jett on Split is a monster agent still. Lotus is there. Bind is 50%. Ascent, anyway, is a shit map, basically. Like, they need to remove that map, like, in the next episode, hopefully. And Haven is, like, 50-50. Okay, like, generally speaking, now with the Jett changes, probably on Bind, I would just recommend you to learn how to play Raze. Bind is Raze is far more effective than Jett on Bind in almost every single lobby. On Lotus, you can still play Jett, but Raze seems like a more logical pick. And on other maps, like, you know, you can rock with the Jett and just dominate these noobs with the operator and with that agent. Overall, not bad. Like, I really have nothing to shit about when it comes to this tracker. Your eco rounds are also okie dokie, which I love to see. Short should still be a weapon that you're buying as a secondary primary weapon. Like, it's still a powerful tool to trade yourself with a Jett and get some easy frags left and right. And I would easily recommend it to any player that is playing the game. Judge is something that you should definitely use a bit more often, like, especially on Bind. Like, I mean, the more you simplify your gameplay, the more success you're gonna find in the lobbies below Immortal 3. Like, the more simple your gameplay is, with these, you know, quote-unquote cringe weapons, your grind is easier. Like, basically, going from Iron 1 to Immortal 1, Immortal 3 in this game is a joke. Like, the only real gameplay in this game you're gonna see above Immortal 3, and that's the only hard part of Valorant, essentially. And in other lobbies, the more you simplify your gameplay, the more you don't rely on your teammates, the more you play, like, the proper trading game, realizing who is your highest priority and where's your easiest pick. That's everything, basically, like, that you need to think about. Like, now, when it comes to, like, everything else, like, it's fine. Sheriff, Ghost, I don't know how to... Sheriff and Ghost are your most... Like, in the top 6 weapons, you have Classic, Ghost, and Sheriff. Like, my dude is only using these weapons. I would definitely recommend you, like, to try to master a variety of weapons. Essentially, like, with Jett, you know, Guardian is fine. Like, on a map like, I don't know, Breeze, for an example. Like, Bulldog is also a very great pick for some anti-eco rounds and some Halby rounds. Shorty is something that needs to be brought up a bit higher. Marshall, whatever, you know, if you prefer a Sheriff, go with a Sheriff. It doesn't really matter. But, you know, Marshall is really good on a map such as Breeze. And Stinger is definitely something that you should bring instead of the Spectre. Stinger is still far better than stupid Spectre. The only time I would buy a Spectre is in a second round if I'm playing an anti-eco round. But in every other round in Valorant, it makes more sense to prioritize Stinger over the Spectre, because Stinger is far more superior against the weapons such as Vandal, Phantom, you know, when the enemies are full buy. And other than that, everything else is Oki El Dokimus. Really nothing to talk about. Okay, let's go jump into the Breeze. And let's see what he's doing on Breezeroni. Sorry for the flashbang, guys. I forgot to put my game in the middle full screen mode. I don't know why this happens. It just happens, I guess. Let's go. Let's see what my dude is doing on a Breezeroni. This is also my first Breeze VOD review. Like, in a long time. I didn't do a Breeze VOD review for a very, very long time. When it comes to, like, playing Breeze, like, the map is still the same. You know, like, still you wanna fight for the picks. You need to have a very good mechanical skill in order to play this map. You need to master using the operator, and you need, like, to prioritize, like, the bomb size based on your team composition and based on the enemy's team composition. On Defender side, if you're playing passively 24/7, usually you won't find that much success on this map, thus you need to apply a bit more of an aggressive playstyle essentially. Let me just turn the audio down. Okay. Let's get it. Okay, Breezeroni. So, first round on the attacker side. Like in the first round on the attack, first of all, Breeze. On Breeze, B site. Like, Breeze is a really weird map. I don't know how to explain it properly to you guys, like in just one VOD review. But I'll try my best. So, Breeze. Essentially, what you want to do in the first round on the attacker side. Like, your whole strategy, all of your setups, and how you want to play the map depends how enemies are playing and what is their team composition. Like, for example, in this VOD, enemies don't have a single sentinel. When I say sentinel, I mean the Cypher, Deadlock, Killjoy, or Sage. Whenever you see that enemies don't have a single one of these guys, your highest priority on this map should be abusing the enemies on the B site as much as possible. Because defending the B site without a single sentinel is pain in the ass. Like, essentially. Even if the Viper is playing on B, so what? Wait for her utility to go down, execute a site. Like, essentially, in the first round, if enemies don't have a single sentinel, hit B site as 5, end of the story. You don't need even to split the site, essentially. Like, you can just call for a 5-man push on B, and that's it. Now, if enemies have one of these sentinels, I would recommend you to split the A site. And when you're pushing A site in the first round, and generally when you're pushing A site, it is impossible to push the site as a 5-man coming from the A long. I'm sorry. Just a second. Essentially, now with the A long changes like this, it's also stupid not to split the A side because of the mid area changes. So I would heavily recommend you, like if you're playing with, let's say, Viper in your team, tell your Viper to use the poison cloud right here, and then from the doors to use the wall like this. Like, this is the best setup right now when you're pushing the A set in general. Like, basically doing a wall from here and just praying to God that you're gonna win a round or essentially take some kills on A and play the proper A post plant is way too much of a gamble. Like, essentially, it's very easy for the enemies to stop your push here, to peek you, take a kill, like with some kind of a pop flash, etc, etc. And if you're pushing A site in the first round, do some kind of a split. Like, and usually the best idea is to do a 2-3 split, like where 3 players are fighting for mid and 2 players are fighting for the A main area of the map. If I'm playing Jett, I would always prioritize the push through the doors. Spike should go with these guys. If you're pushing B site in the first round, I mean, you're going here, Spike is going here, and you're doing some kind of an execute on the B side of Breeze. Now let's see what you do and what we decide to do. So this is absolutely retarded from the start, absolutely stupid. You know, going 5-man A in the first round, and also like especially against this team composition. Like, this team composition is terrible for defending the B side push. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, kill you with the flashes, you know? Plus, the enemies have Omen. If I was playing in this VOD, I would go 12 rounds in a row on B. Fuck it. You know, like, how is Omen gonna defend the B side? How is any of these guys gonna defend the B properly? Like, they need to be aimed demons in order to win this match. Especially in Ascendant lobbies. Okay.
Like everything.
a lot of Valorant players below Radiant, what you don't understand is the weaknesses of team compositions, and that is something that you need to learn. Like, essentially, that is maybe the number one most important thing that you need to observe when you're starting the matches on any map, essentially. On Split, on the attack, enemies don't have a Sage. Try to abuse the mid. On Ascent, enemies don't have a single sentinel. Abuse the A site. On Breeze, enemies don't have a single sentinel, abuse the B side. Like, essentially, enemy team composition on almost every map tells you what you need to do in the first few rounds. Like, where you want to test the enemy, see how they play. Are they good? Are they bad? Etc, etc. Like, this is one of the most common mistakes that I essentially see in my coaching sessions. Like, people are just, I don't know, they start the first round on the attack and they just either let their teammates decide what they're gonna do, or they just push something that makes absolutely no fucking sense. Like, based on the map that you're playing, based on the map design, and based on, you know, like, enemy's team composition and your team composition as well. Enemies really have a terrible team comp for Breeze.
This cave doesn't exist anymore.
Okay. Now, in the first round on Breeze, like with Jett, to be honest, I would always go with a Ghost and one Smoke. I mean, you cannot really run with a classic pistol on this map, so it is what it is. Now, we see an instant mistake. So essentially, when you're executing the A side of Breeze, like, you really, really want to do the execute more towards the right side, so that you're ready to clear the right corner and the back side as soon as possible and fight together with your teammates. So, what I mean by that? So, let's say I'm pushing the A side in the first round as Jett. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm dying today. So, we're pushing A, activating the dash ability. You want to dash there. Bam, bam. You need to flick left and right. Now, why I would never use this type of a dash? The reason for that is so that my teammates can also see the enemy that is potentially playing here and here. If that enemy is going for some kind of a swing, and I don't want to fight that enemy alone. So essentially, when you're executing the A set of Breeze, this is the best Jett execute. Clearing right angle, this angle, and a bit of this angle with a, you know, in the middle of your dash. Then, after you clear those angles, you peek the backside, peek this, end of the story. But to be honest, like, when he was executing the site, you know, he didn't flick anywhere. It's like the worst mistake you can make with Jett is essentially dashing straight fucking forward. Like, basically, you're wasting half of your ability and half of your potential with Jett if you're not intaking information for your team by flicking left and right. Okay. Now, in the position where he's playing right now, this position is not bad when you have the numbers advantage and when your teammates are ready to fight for the backside. Also, you know, taking a bit more aggressive angle like this is absolutely fine when you want to fight with the pop flashes, when you want to fight with some kind of a utility. But right now, I mean, my dude needs to play aim labs on this position. Like, enemies they can be literally 3 enemies looking at his face at this moment of time, and being this overly exposed is just gonna either result in 1 kill and him being traded, or he's just gonna die without a single kill. Like, taking this aggressive angle is absolutely fine if you're fighting together with your teammates and trying to take the full backside control and essentially, like, fight with some kind of a utility or numbers advantage. But now, you know, this makes absolutely no sense. Like, we need to play a slightly more safe and try to isolate the enemies around this corner right here. That was unexpected. I mean, this is more of a mistake of a Sova, to be honest. Like, I mean, I don't know what Sova was doing at that moment of time. Like, the guy was just staring at the wall. But this kill here and that play of the Omen. Actually, Brian, thank you a lot for the tier 1 sub, baby. Much love, man. Much love. I need to mute you a bit. Sorry. So, that mistake of Omen potentially saved his life in that position. Potentially saved his life. Like, that was such a stupid play. Like, Domen, like, what was Domen doing, man?
Chambers on.
Okay, I mean, we really didn't know information about Chamber. Like, everything else is, like, fine, I guess. Overall, I would heavily recommend you to pay more attention on the map that you're playing, the weaknesses of that specific map, and weakness of a specific team composition. If you see this type of a trash-ass team composition, push the B side. Push the B side 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds in a row, 12 rounds in a row. Like, there is absolutely no way that these guys right here can properly defend the B side with this team composition. This team composition in Immortal 1 and Ascendant lobbies blows my mind, man. Like, I feel that Valorant community is digressing every single year. Like, literally, when I started coaching in this game, I felt like Valorant players are actually smart. You know? I felt that when you reach Radiant, bro, like, these guys actually play the game. You know, you reach Immortal, hey, these guys want to communicate. These guys want to do some strategies. Now, I feel that Valorant community, like, the higher you go in the rank, the more brain dead and retarded players become. Like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. Now, when you lose the first round of Breeze, there is literally nothing that I can recommend you on this map on the attack. Like, literally, anything can work, but only because of the enemy's team composition, I would push B set again. And I would go on B. And I would not split apart, default. Especially on Breeze, I feel that defaulting in the second round, after you win the first round, after you lose the first round, is the worst thing you can do. It's an extremely high, long-range ass map. And essentially, enemies pick 5 marshals, go for 5 body shots, done. Like, in eco rounds, it's better for you to try to take the elbow control, try to take the mid control together as 5, or try to push B as 5, rather than playing some kind of a default, or, God forbid, pushing the A side. Now, we can go with the Sheriff, why not? Like, we planted the spike, we have money, so okie dokie. This is quite dangerous. Like, essentially, you know, this play here that he's going for. I mean, if the guy is with the Marshal there, he is dead. Like, and then basically in these eco rounds, like, remember, guys, that it makes more sense for you to play together rather than defaulting. Like, when do you want to default in Valorant? Like, essentially, in Valorant, you want to default when you have no fucking idea what to do anymore. Like, you're just done. Like you tried everything, let's try to... Like, when you say, hey guys, let's default, you're essentially saying, I have no ideas anymore. Enemies are better than us. Let's see if they're gonna make a mistake. But if they don't make a mistake, you're fucked. Now, only time when it makes sense to default in Valorant is when you notice that enemies are overly aggressive in a specific area of the map, and you think that you can punish the enemies in a specific area of the map. Other than that, fuck defaulting, just play as 5, split something, do this, do that, like fake this side, rotate to that side. You get the point. Okay. Interesting smoke by Omen. Okay, we heard the chamber. Just a second, guys. Sorry, you don't hear the audio. The chamber did like the TP right here, so he's probably gonna peek the doors right now. You know, listen to these sound cues. Like, they can tell you 99% of times for what type of a play enemies are going next. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, basically, listen here. You hear? Great. Now, If I was going for this swing, after hearing that chamber, use a teleport. Activate the dash ability. Like essentially, when you're playing Jett, you want to use the dash ability and activate the dash ability, even if there is 1% of chance for you to take the duel with the enemies. Every single time you die without using a dash ability, you could have done something better. Meaning you could have used a fucking dash ability. Unless, you died in the middle of the dash, or you died because you committed to the fight, of course. Like, and your aim was Pupu el Kakimus. But other than that here, you know that one enemy is 99% behind the smoke. Activate the dash ability, go for the one tap, dash away, go for the one tap again. Pray to God that your aim is better than that guy's. If it is not, Kovac same lips, etc, etc. Yeah. Okay. So far, primary mistakes are just not observing the enemy's team composition and pushing the wrong side and giving the wrong calls. Like, at least in the first 3 to 4 rounds, if you have willpower and mentality, and if you have the will, if you truly want to reach Radiant, you need to give some call to your teammates. It doesn't need to be like some super high level, like, tactic or strategy. Just tell them, hey guys, let's push A, let's push B, let's split this, split that, like, play default, etc, etc. But playing this just randomly, like, splitting apart, especially against this team comp, it doesn't make any sense. This is something that I would recommend you not to do, unless you have the operator. Like, essentially, now with the changes of the A main area of the map. So, when you're pushing here, I would never push like this. The reason for that is, like, now enemies have these cringe-ass angles, like this one, like this one, like this one here, that they can play and rip you apart, especially if they have the operator. Like, they're always in some kind of an advantage over you, and unless you have some insane reaction time and enemies are really dog poo-poo, you're gonna kill them. Otherwise, you will get killed. When you're pushing A main, just come to the wall here, hold the enemy's push, you come to this position, bap, jump spot the enemies, activate the dash, go out. Especially when you're playing Jett. Like, if you're playing Jett, I always emphasize, guys, if you die in this area of the map, so you die here, let's say you die here as well, like to some degree, you die here, and you die here. If you die in this area of the map, you could have done something better. Either when it comes to your utility usage, positioning, pathing, angle clearing, anything. If you die in this area of the map, it's absolutely fine. Because you tried to take some kind of a kill, you were going for some kind of an, aggressive play, execute, it's fine. You can probably do something to fix that problem. Like, you can do better execute, better push something, coordination. But dying in this segment here is the worst thing you can do when you're playing Jett. And also, like, if you have the operator, I mean, yeah, you can go for this peak right here and try to delete that enemy that is playing op there. Even on the attacker side, if you're playing Jett, like, on this map, essentially, executes don't really exist, when you're playing Jett. Like, every execute that you do doesn't provide any cover for you or cover for your teammates. And it doesn't put that much pressure onto the enemies. So essentially, like, you can play op on this map. If enemies are repeating themselves way too many times on a certain positions, pick up the op, try to punish the enemies, that's it.
No charges left.
Generally speaking, this is my all-time least favorite map in Valorant. Like, Breeze is #1 worst map in the game. #2 is Fracture for ranked solo queue. And #3, these days I feel that Ascent became so fucking boring. I would much rather play Pearl rather than Ascent. Like, but Breeze is always gonna be fucked up because it's literally a team deathmatch map. Who has a better operator, who has better mechanical skill, will always win. But always.
Three.
Your execute, they don't even matter in solo queue.
Three. Let's just rotate.
Yeah.
Reloading. Should be heavy mid already.
No, they smoked that.
Why is our Viper going with a spike through mid? I mean, quite literally, I don't know what's happening in this VOD. Like, enemies have 5 worst agents to play on Breeze. I mean, the only thing that makes sense is Chamber. And Yoru to some degree. I don't know, NA players really love the Yoru. Like, I think Yoru is fine. He's like hit or miss, like, but whatever. Like, you know, Jett exists, Breeze exists. Viper, what doing? It's really good. It's really good that he followed up her Viper right here. Like, bro, I need your wall on the B side. I need a spike on the B side. What's going on?
Nice.
Bro, Viper going in demon mode, but still, if you have this type of a Viper and you're playing Jett, pick up the spike, bro. Like, literally carry the spike with yourself.
Door and heavy.
Behind you! Oh, that was really...
Door and heavy.
How did that... Oh man, look at Omen's movement. Bro, that flick that he did there, he hurt his wrist, literally.
The fuck?
I don't know. We're complicating things too much. Like, this is exactly like what you're not gonna see in any series or challenge that I do. Like, in these lobbies and ranks. Like, if you follow these rules, you'll find 10 times more success on the attacker's side. Rule number 1. Simplify the things. Try to, like, the simple callouts, simple strategies, simple navigation, simple tactics. Like, literally, people are not using their brain when they're playing this game. They don't even listen that good. But I feel that every single time when I gave some kind of a callout, even in gold lobbies, in platinum lobbies, people do follow you up. Maybe they're not gonna do the best utility ever, and they're not gonna refrag you in the best possible way, but they do follow up, like, you know, the original idea of a pusher strategy. Second rule, the least amount of over rotations that you do is better for you on the attacker's side. Every single time you rotate on the attacker's side, you are risking your round by 20%. Because you don't know where the fuck your teammates are gonna go, what the hell your teammates are gonna do, how well they're gonna clear all of the angles and corners, and what type of utility you will have on the opposite part of the map where you're essentially rotating. So, the best idea on the attacker's side of the map, such as Breeze, if your push towards a certain bomb site gets stopped or fails, cut the noise for 20 seconds and reheat that same bomb site, instead of doing an enormous amount of over rotations on a attacker's side. This applies to every single elo below Radiant, which is like below Immortal 3 essentially. The only time you should rotate on maps such as Breeze is if you know that there's, like, I don't know, 4 enemies on the B site right now, or if, let's say for an example, you think that one enemy might have lurk behind you, or they have one guy that loves to lurk, so you can try to punish that enemy and then decide what is our next step. But other than that, if the callout is push B, if your push gets stopped, delayed, basically just like you know, cut the noise, reheat the bomb site. You see what is your Viper doing? Like your Viper with a spike, with a full utility, is going mid. In what type of reality are we living? Yes, she took 2 kills, but those kills mean nothing.
See that?
I mean, we can summarize the attacker side. Basically, they should have tested the enemies first on the B side instead of on the A side. Like, essentially, on Breeze, we have a bit of a conundrum, essentially. Like, on Breeze, like, now a few things changed, like, to be honest, like on Breeze. Like, on Breeze previously, before the map changes, I was prioritizing A side over the B side on both attack and defense, because on A side you had like basically 1, 2, 3 choke points to attack the enemies, and it was quite easy to get the A side like and to play with the enemy mines and to push the A. Also, when I was playing on defense, I was considering A side my default side, because you know you need to be aware of the tube, you need to be aware of the A main area of the map, mid, etc, etc. But now with the new breeze changes, I think that your default site on this map should be the B site. In general, you should be, you know, keeping the control of the elbow and the mid area of the map. Like, stopping the push of the enemies to the A main is like piece of cake these days. Like, you know, you drop one molly, pushes delayed. You drop a smoke, pushes delayed, like, most of the times. But essentially, what does that mean for you? That means that in the earlier rounds of a match, on the attacker side, you should focus more towards the mid area of the map and B side, and then slowly shifting your focus towards A side if the B side is already not working for you. Thoughts about Phoenix on Breeze? Fine pick. It's okay, fine. Maybe even better than Jett, to be honest. Though his flashes are kinda like shit on this map, because the longer the range, flashes has a lower duration, essentially.
Where's my doors?
Okay.
In the smoke behind you guys, behind you guys.
Ah, how's he
He
there?
TP'd, he TP'd.
Holy fuck, this was a mess, bro. Okay, that execute was fine. Then that flash was insane.
In the smoke behind you guys, behind you guys.
We missed the Omen, and then Omen went there.
TP'd.
There's nothing like there's nothing I can tell you about this round, literally. Like, this round was a full shenanigans on all sides, you know? Like, both A, like, I don't know. Like, this type of things you simply cannot outplay or compensate. Like, that Omen play was really good, to be honest. It was a bit unlucky, you know, timing that you miss him, so there's nothing I can tell you here. The only thing I can tell you is that your Viper is doing some terrible fucking wall for the A push.
Just back.
Finally!
Bad timing.
How are we playing two eco rounds in a row? Okay. Rule... What? Is it better to split A side or full push main? It's always better to split A. Like, pushing S5 through main is not worth it, basically. With the new changes of the site. Like, essentially, like 90% of times when you're pushing A side on Breeze, someone either needs to lurk through the mid, or we need to do some kind of a 3-2 split where 2 players are going A main and 3 players are going in the mid. Now, what happened with the economy here? Like, why did you invest so much money into this round? I mean, sorry, I wanted to ask is, like, why didn't you buy with your teammates. I mean, if your teammates are full buying, regardless that they have money for the next round, full buy as well. You know, ask for the Reyna to drop your Guardian or Bulldog. Guardian is fine on this map. Like, this is actually one of the rare maps where I would play Guardian even as a main weapon, essentially. Buy the Guardian, buy the heavy shield, and that's it. You know, what's going on with the economy? Or just buy the light shield, buy the Guardian if your teammates already are ignorant and they want to get your weapon. And now in this round as well, basically, if 3 or more of your teammates, so if 3 or 4 of your teammates are forcing in a round, you need to force up with them. Like here, you're buying a Sheriff again with a heavy shield and that's it, basically. This doesn't make any sense. Like, 3 players force both, they force the weapons, and you're playing Sheriff without a shield, and then in the next round, these 3 guys won't have the money anyways, like if you lose this one. Okay, we are finally pushing B side. He was like, Valorant. You know, this angle clearing here could have been a bit better, but and what Reyna doing?
Backside, back here.
Okay.
Help me if I'm in.
Okay. If your teammates, so basically he got a kill in elbow. In these type of scenarios, making fast game decisions is crucial for you. Like, if you don't make a fast game decision, you're fucked in these type of rounds. We got a pick. We are 5 versus 4. If you kill a guy in elbow, chances are really, really high that there is only one guy on the B side. Like, 90% of times, when you find a kill here, there's gonna be probably 3 players in this area of the map right here. So, you kill a guy in elbow, 99% of times, there's gonna be 3 players in this area of the map. If you find this kill, go for the fast B push. Like, there is no second guesses. Especially if your teammates are already pushing through the main area of the map, and if they're ready to fight the enemies on the side. Like, basically, in this scenario, if I was playing instead of him, of course, like, we find a kill on Reyna. Okay, let's clear this slowly. Every angle one by one, take the Reyna gun, activate the dash, smoke my ass, and I'm instantly dashing like this, taking the space and trying to search for that one guy that is probably left on the side. If they have 2 guys, who cares? You know, like, we're still 5 versus 2. It's better to make some kind of a fast game decision rather than waiting for the enemies to rotate. Like, one beautiful thing about Breeze is that rotations take fucking ages. If you find a pick somewhere, if enemies are not delaying you or stopping you with some kind of a utility, just try to stomp them, try to kill them on that specific area of the map or the bomb site. Fast game decisions are really important on Breeze, like, once we have some numbers advantage and once we find a certain pick, like, but also, you know, from the previous rounds, you need to learn and you need to read, like, what happened during the match.
Help me if I'm in.
You see here, Chamber is alone. I mean, I think he's alone. I don't know. I'm not a wizard. I'm not magician. Like, I don't watch these VODs in advance. But just from my experience, usually what happens in these lobbies and on a specific map, like, map knowledge is very important. And reading what happened in the previous rounds and where the enemies played. But even with 2 guys from B, like, you dashing into connector here with a smoke to cover your ass and applying that pressure onto enemies, you can potentially get 1 or 2 kills for your team and open up the site as well, instead of waiting for your teammates to die in the B-main as they are. We're spending too much time. We spend way too much time on mid, like, way too much time on mid. Okay, this might be a kill. Woo. Okay.
What?
Valorant!
I'm gonna try to make him rotate.
I guess Valorant, guys, huh? Okay. Once again, like, in eco rounds, try not to default. And please, like, when you lose a round, on the attacker side, by pushing something, ask yourself, why did you lose that round? Like, we didn't lose this round because enemies are good at defending B side. We lost this round because you didn't make fast game decisions. You didn't provide the space for your teammates on the B side with some kind of an execute, and you didn't play with your teammates in the B main. Now, in this round, I would push B side again. It is far more unpredictable and better than splitting the map, playing default, and relying on these 4 idiots of teammates to take some kind of a kill. Like, every single match that you start in Valorant, you're starting with a pre-assumption that 4 of your teammates have some kind of an Alzheimer, some kind of a disease like that basically has no cure in this community. And then slowly as the match progresses, you're either trusting your teammates or you're not trusting them at all. Like, defaulting this much, especially on the map like Breeze, in eco rounds is just not worth it. Charlatan skin, man. That's how I play Sova, bro, on Breeze. Okay, we got the ult. Okay, bro, they can be anywhere. Ooh, that timing of the Reyna push was so good. Like, not bad, not bad. Okay, one tip that I need to give you. Whenever you're crossing from the elbow into the connector, like basically building, whatever, use a smoke for your ass. Basically, if I'm crossing here, I'm always gonna do this and then pick the enemies like that. So that I don't need to look at that angle as I'm pressuring the enemies on the B side. Like, essentially, you're always in some kind of a crossfire here if you don't have the smoke from your allies or in the support of your allies. So if you're alone in this area of the map and you're ready to contest the enemies on the B side, smoke the point, push in with the dash, clear the side, that's it. But these enemies are really having fun with you, huh? Reaction time not there.
Maybe he likes to push.
Way too much defaulting, man. Way too much defaulting and such a stupid callouts and plays like tell your guys, like, guys, let's push B. Let's fuck them up on B. They have 2 players on B that probably cannot defend the B side. Let's see if they are good there.
Push up after a little bit. I think she plays B every round, so. And Yoru and Omen play here.
Is he going to die? Chat on this angle, huh? Is he going to make a... Is the chamber gonna play operator there? Let's see. Actually, Yoru is there.
Okay,
no.
There's 3A probably.
Okay, another thing that I would recommend you not to do in Valorant. This is how I get fucked up so many times. Like, if you don't have a 100% information, don't say 3 ASAT probably. Like never give the exact numbers or say any numbers that you're not certain about. Like, I get fucked up in clutch scenarios enormous amount of times because of these callouts. Like, only say the numbers and say what you see and what you heard and what you know 100% instead of saying 3 aces probably. Because your teammates right now might get a pick on, let's say, elbow on the Reyna again, and then like 2 guys might be playing B side, and your teammates might not be ready for these 2 guys. Only give the, you know, Yoru and, I don't know, Chamber or A. Done. Good information.
1 point mid.
You see, now they killed the Reyna, but there can still be 1 guy here and 1 guy in the CT.
Which side you go?
Cancel.
Ja, men cancel, okay. Would at least 2A be the correct call? Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, you know, just say the numbers that you know. Like literally, I cannot tell you guys how many times I get fucked because my teammates say probably 4C. And there's 4 enemies alive. And then there is 1 fucking guy lurking behind me, killing me from, I don't know, A short of Haven, for an example. This is a really good post. This is still a really good post plan position when you're playing Jett. And this spot I'm still gonna use like if like I have a full control of the B main. You know, this is absolutely fine. Very good positioning. Let's try to kill them. The only advice I need to give you is rule of the elevated positions. How does that rule sounds? So basically, in Valorant, whenever you're playing some kind of an elevated position that has a drop towards the safety, no matter how high that elevation is, you want to play on the edge of that position so that you can quickly reposition if you get flashed, if 3 enemies peek you in the same time, if you lose the control of your spray, of your burst fire, if the fight is not going in your favor, and so on. So, if I'm playing here and waiting for the enemies, I'll make sure to hug this edge 24/7. And then, after I take a fight, I can just pull out the knife, take another angle. Take another angle.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Monster on the loose!
Full blind.
Okay, good activation of dash. Good repositioning here.
Here.
Could be half wall.
1 enemy remaining.
Good kill.
Oh.
Okay, okay. Not too shabby, not too shabby.
Hey.
Here.
Okay. Whenever your teammates are pushing in the B side against the chamber that has the operator contacting his ultimate or op, like contacting B side and peeking the window is the worst thing you can do. Like, that is such an easy kill for the good chamber players, and you always need to have some kind of a flash for the close angles to the B main and for this, you know, some utility for the site. Like right now, peeking this window, a bit of a suicide. But jump spotting the window and then going for the peek, very good job. But this jump spotting is like, you know, what type of information you get with this? Like, I mean, you know, like you really don't see anything like when you do this. I mean, I'm not really. Isn't this a bit better to see exactly where the guy is playing and to go for the swing instead of this?
Try to get a pick breach.
Yeah.
Can you flash flash?
Omen's teleported. Omen's TP'd. You get crossed.
Tagged 180. Gecko or chamber.
Okay, especially on Breeze, this is very important. Like, I mean, this is something that should never happen for you on any map, regardless if it is the Breeze or whatever the fuck you're playing. But rotating with your crosshair, not facing the angle from which enemies might kill you is the worst thing you can do in Valorant. Especially on a map like Breeze, where these, you know, main areas of the maps and every corridor is huge as fuck, you know, which my dick is not. And essentially, like, you know, right now, that Omen might be going for the peek here. He will see you rotating, kill you. Like, it's always place your crosshair, even if you have your knife out, towards the angle from which enemies might peek you at that moment of time. Like, essentially here. Even if you have knife, so essentially here, I would rotate like this. The reason for that is, like, if I see the enemy, I can maybe quickly jump around, do the smoke, reposition, take a fight. Or maybe I'm gonna see the glimpse of an enemy there, you know, a tip of a gun, and then if that enemy didn't see me, I can go for a swing, take a shot, kill him, that's it. And I got good information for myself and for my team.
Remember one of those two.
Cool.
I tried.
That was a good kill. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Good, like, good. Very good. Nothing to shit about here.
Again and go.
The reason why I generally in my coaching sessions I don't like doing the I don't like really doing the VOD reviews of the Breeze, because as your mechanical skill gets better, your win rate on this map gets better, and as you get better with different guns and weapons such as Operator, Guardian, Vandal, etc., your win rate goes higher. Literally, like this map is not a team play map.
You want to play? Let's play.
I don't know why you default so much, like essentially in the lobbies where you're playing right now, like, I mean, in all of the lobbies below Immortal 3, the more you default, the more rounds you're gonna lose, essentially. Like, defaulting should never be your first option or the first thing that you do in these lobbies. Like, you know, it makes sense in Radiant lobbies, in pro play, to take the space control, destroy this utility, that utility, make the pressure, like, you know. But in these lobbies, you're just risking a lot. I mean, right now, especially, and at least when you're defaulting, try to play. Okay, so when you're defaulting, follow two rules. Either have the spike carrier close to yourself, and the spike close to yourself so you can pick it up at any moment of time, and even if your teammates die. And the second rule is, like, play away from your teammates in areas of the maps where you think that you can potentially get a kill and make the numbers advantage. Right now, you know, you're just praying to God that your teammates will survive this push against the chamber with the ultimate, and you're risking this round by a lot, man.
Raina's on me.
Right side. Right kitty.
Once again, look at your ass. Look at your ass when you're rotating.
Omen also
Okay. We pray to God. Prayers worked.
might be banned.
Reyna was mid.
Enemy remaining.
Kill.
Raina was also mid.
Good. It worked out.
Yeah, I think if we just go fast, we're good.
Okay, I mean, I didn't see that many executes from him, but you have two problems with your executes. Three problems. First problem, they're very random, without any meaning. Second problem is, like, you're not flicking during the dash, and you're not intaking any information for your teammates. And the third problem is that when you're dashing with Jett, you always want to dash into some area of the map where you can isolate the angles one by one, and where you're not overly exposed from multiple amount of angles at the same moment of time. So essentially, when you're executing the B set of Breeze, for an example, this execute here is absolutely fine. I can isolate this fight, stay in this position for a bit, wait for my teammates to go in, then pick a fight with the enemies behind, etc, etc. Do the smoke here, take the backside control, that's it. This execute is also fine. Dashing into this corner, like this, intaking this information, doing the second smoke, getting up, clearing the backside, dropping down. It is totally fine to go up there with the updraft and dash. I missed it, sorry guys. But with the updraft and dash, and then quickly check the enemies here, check the enemies there, drop down while the smoke is still active. Like, the smoke gives you a cover when you're up here, basically from the right side. And you can only focus on the enemies in this speedway area of the map. But dashing like this, in an open area of the map, without even flicking left and right, it's a bit of a Sudoku, you know, like, enemies might be right now, there, behind the site, here. Enemies might be peeking with a Gecko pop flash, with a Yoru pop flash to the wall. You're in an open area of the map, and only God knows if your teammates will refrag you.
It's clear.
The stack tasted.
Wall's going down.
As I said previously, like, this position here and this position here is fine for the post plant, but only if you have the control of the B main area of the map. Playing there, being fully exposed from that position, we're gambling a lot, you know. Like, just play, you know, hold something that your teammates are not holding, and that's it. Like, it's better.
There's a lot of flank.
You see now, like, 3 of your teammates are looking towards there. We don't know where is one enemy. And no one is checking the CT and the B-Link.
Could be elbow now.
I'm watching Hall.
120 on Chief.
One enemy remaining.
He's A main. Bottom lane.
Good. Very good.
Deploying drone.
I'm lost in these games. Like, bro, we're playing in the North America lobbies, NA lobbies. Like, at least you guys are speaking the common language. Like in Europe, sometimes I'm speaking the gorilla language, sometimes the monkey language, sometimes like you know, Orospochuchi language, sometimes like Paris Francais. Like you guys are at least on the same page, you know, with the communication. Tell them to do something. Give them some idea. Like, how are 3 players on mid? No one is elbow. You with a Sova with a spike in B main. Like, if you're splitting the B side through mid, there needs to be someone in elbow. 2 players in main and 2 players mid. I feel that in NA this is very easy to be communicated and to tell them what to do.
What the fuck? Wow, where'd he drop from?
Even though I still want to say that what they are doing in this game, it really didn't make any fucking sense, considering what type of team composition enemies have. Like, this team comp on defense of Breeze, getting 5 rounds, now maybe 6, with this team comp, it's a fucking magic.
Two flank. One more mid flank.
player standing.
Okay. Now, did he really need to go for this fight? I mean, kinda, to be honest. Like, I mean, Yoru has the ultimate. There are 2 versus 3. Probably, I would have also picked this fight. You know, like, this is something that is necessary from him. At this moment of time, he just missed the shots, you know, like, I see a few mechanical problems when it comes to your gameplay, and I'm gonna give you some solutions for that and some kind of a training for all of the mechanics. I don't really like discussing the stupid mechanics, like, on streams.
Last player standing.
But how did that not hit? Bro, where did these, like, 3 shots go down there?
Last player standing.
Wait. Let me.
Take flight.
Still in sight. Blocking sight.
This is really sad what they're doing, man. I think enemies played the retake of the B site in the last 5 rounds, and they're still contesting them, you know, like on mid and elbow.
120, no way. One mid flank as well.
I'm gonna go up mid. I'm going around.
Ooh, having the knife out here in this situation is very dangerous. I mean, we're still playing Breeze. We have no idea where all of the enemies are. One enemy can still be late rotation from A site. We need to have the gun out, man. We need to have the gun out, bro.
Jett has a flank, keep holding.
Good play.
They're all pushing.
Maybe a good play.
Player
It was a good idea from him, you know, like literally, you know, I would have gone for the same play. I don't like when I'm doing a VOD reviews to say that I wouldn't do something that these guys are doing. I probably would have done the absolutely same play in this, like, 3v5 scenario.
Jett has a flank, keep holding.
They're all pushing. We're 140 on Reyna.
The game decision was absolutely fine.
player standing.
What, bro?
Okay. But the start... But the start of the rounds are absolutely horrendous, man. Horrendous, literally. Like how he is starting the rounds, and there was absolutely no callouts. Like, that is really fucked up, bro. Like, fucked up for the NA lobbies. Like, and also not observing what enemy. Like, I feel that you should put more focus what the enemies are doing. Develop your map awareness to a bit higher levels, and try to read the actual game. You know, like, try to develop your knowledge when it comes to the maps. When it comes to the team compositions, weaknesses of team compositions, like try to make some notes in your head, like, where did I see enemies last time? What did they do? What did they push? Like, how do they play? A lot of things that they did on the attacker side made 0 sense simply because of enemy team composition. Now, in this round, first round on a defender side of Breeze. In a first round of defender side of Breeze, I would actually recommend you, if you're already playing Jett, to grab yourself by your balls and go for some aggro play. Like, as I said, on this map, you know, controlling the mid is very important. Like, now with the changes. Like, having the control of the elbow and mid area of the map, very fucking important. B site should be your default site that you prioritize playing when you have no idea where the enemies are gonna do next, what the enemies are gonna do. And A site is, like, you know, secondary focus. With that, you know, in mind, what I would recommend you in the first round is to go for the aggro peek, either in elbow or aggro peek in the doors. Just activate the dash, buy the fucking sheriff, go for it. Like, essentially, playing passive on this map, on the defender side, is one of the worst things that you can do, especially when you're playing the A fucking site. did he just use a bug? Guys, do you know about this bug? Look at this. I don't know if Is still is this still active like after the patch? Just a second. I need to test it. So you jump. I guess you cannot do it anymore, huh?
Here.
Ah! Did they fix it? I think they fixed it. Yeah, they fixed it, bro. Okay, good. It's fixed. Is Jett supposed to be there even with the updraft? Yeah, I think you can get it. From this position, right? Can you get it from yellow? Phew, from yellow is hard, bro. But it is possible.
Hey.
But also the angle that he is playing right now, like, is once again stupid. Stupid game decision. Like, they have 3 pop flashes and 1 global flash. I mean, not global, but, you know, AoE flash. Like, essentially, right now playing this position is a bit of a Sudoku once again, you know? Like, enemies quite literally have, like, 3 pop flash characters. If they don't flash the main area of the map, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. Especially because of the enemy's team composition, I would never play super passively against this team comp, regardless of the map, essentially. Like, they have Gecko, Reyna, and Yoru. If you play passively against this team comp, you're donezo. Most of the times.
Copy.
Okay. I'm rotating.
Spike planted.
90 on the chamber.
Good shot.
Oh, you're gonna... Backside. Backside.
You know, like, when you're going for these retakes, really try to chill a bit. Like, I see a lot of the players, like, when they're going for the retakes of the bomb sites, like, you guys are rushing out way too much. Like, if your Viper is already applying the pressure from the back, chill a bit. You know, wait a bit. Wait for Viper to reveal the enemies. Like, wait for Sova to do the utility. Wait for your Sova to get ready to push with you. Like, on the retakes, it is much more important for you to observe what your teammates are holding, clearing, and doing at that moment of time, rather than where the fuck enemies are at that moment of time. Like, I feel that around you would win like 20 or 30% more retakes on any map if you just slow down your retakes a bit, without trying to get the kills, without like just holding the angles and waiting to see what enemies are gonna do. Especially if you have a lot of time. You know, 40 seconds, 45 is plenty of time. Like basically, even if you have 20 seconds, there's plenty of time to get the kills capitalized, to do the proper retake, etc, etc. You don't need to rush things out.
So... Really? Oh no.
Personally, like, I prefer Bulldog over the Guardian on any map. But on this map, Guardian is, you know, I guess slightly better, and it's a good weapon for these anti-ecos. Like, I mean, it's such an easy kills. But one problem is, like, with Jett, I don't know if I should pick the Guardian in the second round. The reason for that is, like, Marshall exists, and if you buy the Marshall in heavy shield only in the second round, and then you play the third bonus round with a Marshall and Heavy Shield again. In the 4th round, you have Operator with a Heavy Shield and I think 1 or 2 smokes. So essentially, like, the only reason why I wouldn't go with a Guardian on Jett on this map, or Bulldog, is to get that op in my hands as soon as fucking possible. Like, especially if you die in this 2nd round with a Guardian, you won't have Operator until maybe 5th round or something like that.
Have you guys seen this? Where you can like go up this on the...
I mean, when you're playing defense of Breeze with a Jett, like your full focus is essentially getting that Operator in your hands as soon as fucking possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of dumb.
What did I just watch on the minimap? What did our Viper just do?
Dude, they all bought armor.
This was such a stupid play by you. This was such a stupid play. Like, there was absolutely 0 reasons to go for this play. Like, I don't know what we did here. Like, why? Why do we need to reposition? I mean, the timing fucked him up, and timing was really fucked up. But I don't understand why are we repositioning when your teammates already have the full mid control. Enemies cannot see you from mid. Why risk it? You know, why complicate things? It was a bit unlucky timing, but still, you know, not really unlucky, you know. And by the way, generally speaking, whenever you want to play on these positions, like on the crab and shrimp, whatever, like on the boobies, titties, it is always better to start the round by playing on this position, and change them only if you abuse this position. If the enemy see you on this position way too many times, because you're not visible from the mid. So essentially, like, essentially, like, you know, in the earlier stages of the game, prioritize the crab over the shrimp, and play the fucking octopus, whatever the fuck this is. You know, if the enemy see you here 1 or 2 times.
There's 2. I jumped.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. So now we lost the Guardian, even though we lost it in a really stupid way because, I mean, it was obvious that enemies are maybe... I mean, if you see enemies on mid, you either want to expect enemies to split the A side, or they're playing some kind of a default, most of the times. Like, now we lost the Guardian, and now getting that Operator in the 4th round can be a bit, you know, hard.
Here.
Nothing A.
Okay.
I'm flanking. Like fast flanking.
Spike down. Attacker spawn.
Mid 2. We're gonna bind it mid.
Yeah, chambers mid 2.
Oh my god, that's too mid. Help, help. Nice. Yo.
Elbow. Nice.
A couple elbow.
Down B.
Okay. So I don't know what to say about this round. Like, the first thing I need to say is that if you were already planning to make so many footsteps in this area of the map, use the dash ability to travel faster. You know, you already used the dash ability. It is running low. Use it to dash. I mean, you were running here the whole time. Dash ability is not audible more than your footsteps. Like, it has the same audio, basically. Second thing here...
Flanking. Like fast flanking.
This game decision
Attacker spawn.
Mid 2. We're gonna bind it mid.
to not kill the chamber and enemies on mid is like 50-50 gamble. Like, the reason why it is a 50-50 gamble is because we're playing a bonus round. In the bonus and eco rounds, your primary focus is damaging the enemy's economy as much as possible and trying to get as many kills as you can, essentially. Like, your focus is almost never winning the round. Like, your focus is, like, lowering down the numbers and allowing your teammates to have easier time winning the round. Like, this was a bit dangerous because you simply don't know what your Reyna is gonna do, what Viper is gonna do. But on the other hand, like, if you don't shoot these enemies, you're probably gonna find a kill on the another enemy in the beam. But I don't know, like, I personally wouldn't trust these two guys with this type of a fight right here. And that's the only reason why I would have gone for that kill instead of the kill on Omen.
Yeah, Chamber's mid too.
Oh my god, it's too mid. Top up. Nice. Yo.
A couple no bro.
Down B.
Oh my. Both mid, both mid.
One enemy remaining.
Mid.
Team 8.
We got.
Oh.
Good play. The only thing I need to recommend you right now, when you're going for these aggressive plays with Jett, we need to be aware that the activation time of the dash ability is significantly higher. So when you're going for this peak in the A main area of the map, wait for 1 second and then go for the swing. So basically here, let's say I want to pick the A main together with my breach. And I tell my breach, can you stun this after 1 second when the round starts? Round starts, I activate the dash ability. I'm moving slowly. Breach stuns. Bam. So that you're ready for the fight. And you have that confidence that your dash ability is also ready to fight the enemies. But to be honest, when you're fighting the enemies in the A main, maybe a flash is a bit better than a stun. I mean, if the breach stuns like this, and one enemy comes here, that stun doesn't do that much, you know, like, I don't know. Breach doesn't have that much time. If the enemies are running, I think they can all dodge the stun. And someone is not, I don't know, like, it's a bit risky.
Oh. Oh, 120 right now.
Okay, good refrag there, good refrag. Now, I need to give you one rule, guys.
Healed and 40.
One very important rule in Valorant. Whenever enemies are eco or half buy on both attackers and defender side, don't showcase the enemies how you love to play the game. Don't showcase the enemies your best strategies and tactics. And don't showcase the enemies anything except of the regular stuff. Play the most boring Valorant ever. Like, hold your ground, hold some angles, off angles and positions. But in these type of rounds, I would never go for these type of swings and risk losing the round or also losing the surprise factor in the future rounds. Like, enemies didn't see you push A main once. Nobody pushed A main in any of the rounds. I mean, yes, you pushed in the previous round, but they didn't see you push, you know, they didn't know that you came from the A main. So, essentially, by doing this in this round, fine, we won the anti-eco round, but you would have probably won it anyway, some breeze, let's be honest. But in the next round, doing this with Operator, for an example, will be super fucking good and much better than in this round, where the enemies are eco and half buy.
Chamber.
Okay, after that round, to be honest, like, if I was the enemy, I wouldn't have any confidence, like, to push the A main area of the map. And to be honest, like, the enemies that he is playing against are heavily following the AB rule and rule of fear. I don't really speak about these two rules anymore on my streams and VOD reviews that much, but these two rules is the first two things that you want to track in the earliest stages of your games in Valorant. So, AB rule simply means that every single round, enemies will try to do something different compared to the previous round. And they are doing that. And rule of fear simply means that enemies won't have the confidence to repeat the same play from the previous round because you destroy them. Here, we annihilated enemies on A. Enemies are following the AB pattern. Let's gamble. This gamble that they're doing is absolutely fine. Maybe too much, you know, selling the A set completely. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, Reyna or someone should play A. But I would definitely play, you know, somewhere around the mid, trying to take a pick in elbow with the operator, etc, etc.
Smoke mid.
Okay.
We have no one A.
Elbow.
This is just too much of a gamble, like, you know, like stacking 5 players in one area of the map without any information on the opposite part. Like, on some maps this is fine, but on Breeze, overstacking the bomb sets like this is pain in the ass, because rotations on this map take fucking ages, and also the post plants are not really, the retakes are not really the funniest thing to be done. Nice kill, nice. Bro, Fel has my luck in Valorant. Like, this is my luck in this game. Like, 3 times he died in some really unimaginable ways, man. There's nothing I can tell you, man. Like, Viper definitely has some fat ass that is unavoidable.
Viper, can you buy?
Alright, so I sold my shorty about you.
You want to play? Let's play.
This is really good off angle to pick the aim in. Like, I don't think that people are clearing this angle properly. The only thing I would recommend you, when you're holding this angle, right here. So, you're playing here. Hold it with a crouch. The reason why I crouch on this position is to... How can I explain this topic? Like, I mean, I can hold it even without a crouch. It's actually better without a crouch. Yeah, don't hold this angle with a crouch ever. It's better, like, if the enemies are going for the swing here, at least your crosshair is not gonna be that low. Don't hold it with a crouch, but here... Yeah, here it is better with a crouch. Okay.
There's nothing A, nothing.
Okay. Bro, I didn't even know that cryostasis operator exists, man. I completely forgot about this skin.
Yoru's B main.
Guys, this VOD review is a lesson for you that Omen cannot be fucking played as a solo controller on Breeze. Like, it is impossible. Like, I have 5,000 hours on Omen. I reached Radiant with Omen at least 8 or 9 times in the last 3.5 years. Like, pulling off Omen as a solo controller on this map is a miracle. Like, he can be played as a secondary, and he is not bad as a secondary, especially now after the Breeze changes. But solo Omen on the attack, good luck.
Two mid now. Yeah, there's nothing. They're just all there.
Who's next?
Pick a mid.
One enemy remaining.
Mid.
Okay, good. Omen with Viper, doable. Like, Omen and Viper can definitely, like, be very, very viable on Breeze. Like, it's fine to play it. Because Omen is really good. You know where is the Omen better than Viper? Omen is better than Viper, like, on the B side, on defense. You have a lot of one-way smokes. And on controlling the mid area of the map. Like, with Omen, you can control elbow and mid completely with the one-ways. And essentially, that's where the Omen is really good. But as a solo controller, Omen is like pain in the ass, man. Like, you're pain in the ass for yourself, for your teammates. Like, I mean, if I play Viper, trust me, you won't have fun time playing Omen on this map.
Sometimes I can...
This is exactly what I was speaking about previously. Like, enemies already saw you once on this position. We don't have control of the mid. You cannot play the shrimp. I don't know, whatever the fuck this is called. The right booby, the right tits. You need to play the left tit. Essentially, playing on this position without the mid control, you're gonna die, basically.
Pop my dash.
Here.
Spike down.
Did Viper just get a kill in the tube? What the fuck is going on? Guys, the tube is blocked. You cannot go there. Chamber, Reyna, Gecko. What the fuck is happening here? Hello? Viper is holding the tube and she got 2 kills. I mean, 1 so far.
Yours, a kind of timing
Chamberlain's
walked
A2.
in.
Chamberlain's Hall.
Basically, what you really need to pay attention on Breeze. On Breeze, like, also positioning is crucial for you on a defender's side. Like, you need to consistently observe on the minimap what your teammates are holding for you, where the enemies can be and cannot, and to isolate as many angles as possible for yourself. Like, essentially,
Close and tell me if they're coming, like noise.
first of all, here, if you want to play this position against enemies that have so many pop flashes, you need to call for your Reyna to basically destroy the flashes for you. Now, after taking that kill, and after Reyna died, you have no mid control. We are not controlling the doors, and we are not controlling the mid. Enemies could have picked a timing to go to the doors there. We are 4 versus 3. We don't need to fight anymore. We can play the retake. Enemies are eco and half by. We don't need to prioritize the fights anymore. Prioritize the safety and playing with your teammates. Wait for the breach. Play from the yellow. Hold from the yellow, the push through the A main. Breach is holding the doors. That's it. But playing in this position here, while the breach is on the stairs, absolute suicide.
Yours, a kind of timing
Chamberlain's
walked
A2.
in.
You're relying way too much on that factor of luck and timings, you know, there's so many bad timings that could have happened in this VOD for you, like when you were rotating, when you were placing your crosshair, when you were, I don't know, fighting the enemies, like, just because of your poor positioning and poor, like, isolation of angles, if that is a word. Viper is still sniping the other team, literally, man, I don't know how she got a kill there. Even playing in this position now is absolutely stupid. Like, we are 4 versus 2. In a 4 versus 2 scenario, prioritize the post plant. The retake game. Go all the way into the CT. Hold the CT position. Play the retake of the A side. We don't need the A side anymore. We don't need to risk some kind of a stupid timing or luck fucking us up. Such a huge numbers advantage and also gun advantage as well. Like here. Okay. We are 4 versus 2. My team has rotated back. No problem. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Done. Fuck it. If the enemies are planting the spike, I will probably clear some of the close angles before my teammates come in. And then wait for them. There's no way they can win a 4v2 retake with Yoru and Chamber.
They left.
I mean, it's possible, but
Could be mid though.
Shoot, yeah, both.
prayer begins.
Watch out,
I can should you play retake on every map when you are up numbers? Depends on economy and depends on which agents are left alive in enemy team and your team. But 80% of times it is better to play retake when you have the true numbers advantage, rather than risking your life being exposed from like 2, 3, or 4 or 5 different angles. Like if you're 5 versus 3, 5 versus 2, 5 versus 1, 4 versus 3, 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1, and 2 versus 1, it is better to play a retake game rather than trying to fight for the side control. But 20% of times also depends on what type of ultimates and what type of agents you and the enemies have for that retake or post plant. This is very dangerous what he is doing right now. Like, I mean, your isolation of angles and like you're relying on the luck factor way too much. And considering how many times you died because of the luck factor in this game, like luck is not really on your side. First of all, one enemy can be here in the main. Second of all, you're watching only half of the doorway, while the enemy can freely go behind the yellow, completely fuck your breach in the ass, give him a really good gangbang, and go onto the B set or kill you on the side later. And also, like, when you're watching the doors with the operator, this is the best angle to choose. Basically playing from this position, like this. Or playing from the yellow, like this. Like, holding this position is the biggest fucking cancer ever, because enemies can peek on multiple different horizontal locations, like, you know, from any of these positions. And if you miss your flick, like, you know, it's stupid. But here you kind of isolate all of the angles into the one horizontality, and verticality doesn't matter that much when you're holding an angle with the operator.
Yeah.
Blocking sight. 30 seconds left. Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Okay. We kind of risk this round way too much, bro. Way too much risking. Way too much risk.
Alright.
Just one digression. I feel that when I'm watching the Jett players play below Immortal 3, the only things for you guys that exist is picking A main, holding the sights with the operator, and picking the tower position on mid. Bro, go for the doorway peek with some kind of a pop flash. Or without the flash, just activate the dash ability. Fuck up one guy. Go for the elbow peek. In elbow, such an easy kills with an operator. Like, if enemies are not using any recon utility for mid, easy punishment. Go for the B main peek and tell one of your teammates to hold the window for you. Like, there's so many aggressive peeks on which you can capitalize in these lower elo lobbies. Basically everything below Immortal 3 and Radiant is like, you know, shitfest. Like, for example, look at this. Look how you guys were pushing the B main. Just a second to find the round where you were with your Sova. Just look at this fucking shenanigan fest. Is this the round?
Want to play?
No, that's not the round. Just a moment.
Yeah, I can too, actually.
I mean, look at this for an example.
Oh, let's full rush. Start.
Yeah,
Look at this.
I think if we just go fast.
This guy holding the knife. You're holding the knife. This guy holding the wall. This guy is jumping. He doesn't have a gun in his hands. This guy doesn't have a gun in his hands. You go for the swing. Bam. Triple Colette. Like, 50% of times this is how players... Well, not 50, like 80% of times. This is how players peek the B main area of the map. Like nobody can be there. No one, like, how? You know? How do you pre-assume that something is not going to happen in Valorant? Like, it's always better to play Valorant with a pre-assumption that something is going to happen, that enemies will do some common play or a certain play in that area of the map, rather than playing with the pre-assumption, no, enemies are not there. I don't need to clear that. I don't need to, you know, do a flash there maybe, or a recon or whatever, like, or jump spot. Just a second, we all know that Valorant is an indie dev company, and you know, they cannot keep their custom servers for longer than 1.5 hours. Okay, thanks for reminding me on A Heaven trying to solo hold main and short. Yeah, that's exactly the example. Tab, that's listen. So basically, what you will see in my gameplay quite a lot of times. Let's say I'm playing Heaven. That's a really good example. I'm playing Heaven, and enemies are pushing C site. But I don't know how many enemies are here. My teammates take 2 kills on C long. Bop. I don't see the spike, and I didn't see all 5 enemies there. So we are in a 5 versus 3 scenario. But I started my rotation from A long towards the C side. And I'm here at this moment of time. Enemies have stopped their push on C. We don't see the enemies. We don't know if the spike is there. I don't know how many enemies are there. If I'm rotating back to the A site, I would never rotate on tower or rotate behind the site in that 5v3 scenario. Because enemies might have a timing to fuck me up from short and from the long. I'll just stay in the CT watching this cross right here, because chances are 50-50 that enemies are going to be aggressive in that scenario. If somebody lurked on A, he's going to go for the kills. He's going to try to, like, you know, isolate the numbers in a 5v3. And if that guy goes for a peek, I delete that guy, it's 5v2. If the enemies plant the spike, whatever. It's 5v3 retake. We can just smoke the choke point here, flash the enemies on the site. Easy peasy. Better than me dying as a controller on the site and giving enemies 4v3 post plant.
My ult's ready. 30 seconds left.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Where were we at?
Could have dropped down. I doubt it though. Gecko's also there.
Oh, we don't have those.
I'm rotating. I don't think they're gonna commit to B.
They're still back there.
Above,
They're still back there
above.
on B window.
Okay. Now, on a map like Breeze, I would recommend you always, but literally always, to carry the classic and or sheriff as a secondary weapon. Like, this is the only map where I would, if I'm playing Jett, I wouldn't prioritize the shorty as a secondary weapon. Just to give you that recommendation, because on every other map, like whichever the fuck agent I'm playing, I buy the shorty as a secondary weapon when I have money, because it's easy, very easy to trade yourself for 1 kill when you're low HP. But this is the only map where I would be like, you know, it's either a classic ghost or sheriff, like, you know, fuck the shorty.
One enemy remaining.
Gecko was last seen B. No spawn.
Okay, good rotation. I see the door speak. Okay. Nah. Maybe we could have jiggle peek the angles instead of, like, peeling the angle. You know, like, it is a bit better if you're going for the peek with the operator to go, you know, in increments like this, and just, you know, make sure that the crosshair is ready for this, for that, in and out, but also you can peel the angle with the operator, like he did, like, you know, just go around it like this, and just try to catch the enemies off guard. It's fine. Both of things are fine.
Hey.
Oh, enemy Omen is showcasing us a new Omen tech on Breeze, man. This is something I didn't see ever, bro. Like, he this is next level, man. So now when they peek from the smoke, you know, like, they can die from many more angles, you know.
Hey.
Bro, playing Omen on Breeze as a solo controller is literally an adventure. An adventure, bro.
Enemy kill.
Arm TP somewhere. How do you
Spike
like
planted.
use his
VP.
ult?
I think he planted backside. I can't see. Oh, he's half wall, half wall.
One enemy remaining.
Watch out. 80.
Okay, that kind of sums it up. Like, overall, you know, he does have a bit of problems. Like, you know, what I would recommend you to focus on. First of all, a bit better utility usage with Jett. You're a tier 3 Discord sub on my Discord server. You have the access to all of the agents, guides, and ranked playbook that I'm making privately. I've covered the Jett on every single map except the Icebox, Breeze, and Sunset. I'm gonna do that, of course, as well. Like, I heavily recommend you to focus on a bit better executes, better utility usage, and, of course, maximizing the potential of your dash ability. When it comes to your positioning and angle clearing, that can also be something that you focus on. Like, I feel that a lot of times you're relying on that factor of luck and timings. You're not isolating the angles with the proper positioning and proper pathing through certain areas of the maps. So that is another thing that you can fix within your gameplay. And regarding your mechanical skill, probably I'm going to recommend you some kind of a training to follow for the next 2 or 3 months. And I'll see, like, after I finish this VOD review, I mean, after I finish the stream, I'll give you a few tips left and right, you know, or some kind of a training to follow regarding the mechanics and all of the negative notes that I have given you during this VOD review. And maybe, you know, that, like, you need to, on attacker side, calm a bit more, like, for your teammates to do something. Try to develop your game knowledge and map knowledge to some next level. Like, try to observe, you know, what type of gap enemies have in a certain team composition, rather than just doing some random shit left and right. Like, map knowledge is really fucking important in Valorant. Like, understanding the, like, what is the default site for you. Like, understanding what is easier to be hit against a certain type of enemies in a certain elo. Like, that's something that I cannot really explain through one simple VOD review. You know, it takes time, it takes experience, and my coaching is, you know, a huge part of my coaching is spent on that specific topic. When I privately coach the players in 1-month coaching program, like, I spend around 40% of time simply explaining the indicators that you can follow to, like, navigate yourself and your teammates a bit better, and to counter the enemies. Like, which is, you know, it's quite impossible in one single VOD review to cover these topics. Other than that, he's a solid Jett player. You know, solid mechanics, not bad, not bad. My dude is on a grind. I really feel that this dude that we VOD reviewed right now, he has a huge potential to be a Radiant player in the next, like, maybe 5 or 6 months. Like, I think he's gonna need, like, maybe 1 whole episode to get to Radiant. If you fix all of the problems, then I would definitely recommend you, like, to not only stick with the Jett, now that the Jett is nerfed. You know, I would also recommend you on Bind, try to, like, go for, you know, try to learn Raze a bit. On like, Sunset, I feel also Raze is gonna be Demon. On I don't know, Lotus Raze is also a bit better. Like, on all of the maps where you have a low win rate with Jett, maybe you should try some, and low impact as well. Maybe you should try some other duelists, because Jett is still good. Jett is still top 3 agents in Valorant, but, you know, Raze exists, you know, like, Raze is also mega good. Like, I really wonder what is the next duelist gonna be. Like, I really hope next duelist is gonna be some kind of a replacement for Jett. Like, something similar to her. Like, I really miss the fun aspect. Like everything in Valorant that got nerfed removed the fun from the game, you know, they're trying to make out of Valorant a CSGO when this game has 10 times worse mechanics than fucking CSGO. Like, what's the point, bro? Like, the main reason why I had a fun in Valorant playing it, like, in Episode 1, Episode 2, and Close Beta, the shit was fun, bro. You know, utilities flying left and right, this guy using Frenzy only to Immortal, this guy using Shorty only to Immortal, this guy triple-clicking me with a, you know, classic pistol in the air, like, this guy using the Judge, this guy using the Bucky. Now it's like, pick up the op, shit on the noobs, like, I don't know, like, pick Vandal, pick Phantom, pick fucking Odin, like, oh, I'm seeing Odin in Radiant lobbies now, like, 24/7. I don't know. We'll see what the new agent is gonna be. Okay, now, if you want to get coached by me, guys, join my Discord server. On my second YouTube channel, you can watch all of these VOD reviews that I'm doing on my live streams. And that's kind of it for this VOD review. Like, there's absolutely nothing that I can personally add. Let's finish it on that note. Also, subscribe. Love you.